Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be learning how to cut this beautiful stylish bustier with a keyhole yoke. So if it's something you would love to learn, do well to watch the end of the video, like, share and subscribe. So let's get right into the main video. So my paper here is on fold. From the top here is our starting point and our shoulder line. So I'm going to come down here to take my vertical measurement. For my shoulder to my bust point is 9.5 inches. I'm going to mark that and rule a line across. Then from the shoulder line again, I'm going to come down to mark my under bust point. For my shoulder to my under bust is 12 inches. I'm going to mark that all the way and then rule a line across. Then from the top of the paper again, which is my shoulder line, I'm going to come down to mark my waist point. For my shoulder to my waist point in front is 16 inches. I'm going to mark that all the way to have a straight line and I will extend the point across. So this is my waist line, this is my under bust line, and this is my bust line. I'm going to come to the shoulder line here, divide my shoulder by 2 is 7.5. At that point, I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I'll come here to mark my basic neck of 3 inches. I'll connect from the shoulder slope to the neck width. The next thing, I'm going to come here to mark my neck depth of 3 inches, and I'm going to connect from the neck width all the way to the neck depth with my curve rule. The next thing is to mark our shoulder line. To get your shoulder line, divide your bust by 6, then add 1.5 inches to the measurement. I got 7, and I'm going to extend that point across. This is my chest line. On my chest line, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement here, and I'm going to connect from the shoulder slope all the way to the point we just marked on the chest line. So I'm going to come to this line, divide what I have here into 2 equal halves to get a midpoint. I'm going to mark it here, and at the midpoint I'll go in by half an inch. I'll come to the chest line, divide my bust circumference by 4, and I'm going to connect all these points together to form my armhole with my curve this way. The next thing is to mark our dart, and to mark your dart you are going to divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2. My nipple to nipple measurement is 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. I'll mark it on the chest line, on the bust line, on the under bust line, all the way to the waistline. I'll use a straight line to connect all these points together like this. So this is our center front and this is our side front. So I'm going to come to my shoulder slant, divide what I have here into 2 equal halves to get the midpoint. And I'm going to connect from the midpoint all the way to our dart leg like so. So I'm going to come to the center front. On my under bust line, I'm going to be marking half an inch on the center front. Then on the side front, I'm going to mark 1 inch. But if you're a plus size person, you can mark 1 inch here. And then on this side, you can mark 1.5 inches or 2 inches, okay? I'll do the same thing on the waistline, half inch on the center front and 1 inch on the side front. I will go ahead to connect the points together with a straight line this way. Then I'm going to come down from my bust line by 1 inch. I'll use my curve rule to just connect from the under bust all the way to that 1 inch we came down like so. I'll do the same thing on this other side. I'll just connect from the under bust to that point with my curve rule this way. So this is what we have. So I'm going to determine where I want my yoke to start from. I'm going to come up from the chest line by 1.5 inches. It depends on what you want. You can decide to use 1 inch, 2 inch, 1.5. It depends on where you want your yoke to start from. So on our dart leg, I'm going to be marking half an inch on both sides of the dart leg this way, and I'll connect back to my initial line with my curve rule this way. I want this blouse to have like a sweetheart neckline, so I'm going to come up from the chest line by half an inch. You can decide to use your chest line to do this. It depends on how revealing you want your cleavage to be. Then I'll connect from here to this half inch. I'll also connect from the other side with my curve rule into the armhole like so. So this is what we have. Next thing is to impute our round body measurement. We've already marked our bust measurement. I'll replace this 1 inch with 2 for that here, then add my sewing allowance. I'll come to the under bust line, divide my under bust by 4, then replace the 1.5 inches for that. And replace it, then add my sewing allowance. I'll do the same thing on the waistline, replace the dart, then add my sewing allowance. I'll go ahead and connect all these points together. So this is it. The next thing we are going to do now is to draw our keyhole. So you are going to decide how wide you want your keyhole to be. I'm going to come down from the neck depth by 2 inches, and I'm just going to connect with my curve rule all the way to the point I want my opening to stop. So I want it to stop around this point here, like this. Like I say, it depends on how open you want your keyhole to be. You can decide to do 3 inches, 4 inches, it depends on what you want. So this is the part we are going to cut out. I'm just going to shade it so that we know the part we are cutting out. We are going to cut this area like this, and we are going to cut out this area like this as well. So before we cut out, we are going to mark our bust dart. We have not marked our bust dart, and to mark our bust dart, this is the difference you have from your shoulder to your waist in front and back, and mine is 1.5 inches. I'm going to connect from that 1.5 inches I came down from the bust line all the way to our dart leg this way, and we're going to cut out this area as well. And this is basically it for the front pattern. Is very simple to cut. I'll go ahead and cut this out just so we can work on the back pattern. Please pay attention to the area I'm cutting. Make sure to close down your dart before cutting. I lost a clip, so we didn't show where I was cutting. This is what we have for the front. You can see the opening there. If you want yours more wider than this, if you want the opening to be very open, you know what to do. Add more inches and you're going to have that. So we are going to keep this aside now. For the back pattern, I've already gone ahead to draw out my necessary measurements, my bust line, waistline, and my zipper allowance of 1 inch. So I'm going to come to the shoulder line here. Make sure your measurements are taken after your zipper allowance. Divide my shoulder by 2. At that point, come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I'll come here to mark my neck width of 3 inches. I'll connect from the shoulder slope to that point. I'll come down here to mark my neck depth of 1.5 inches. Then I'll connect from the neck width all the way to my neck depth this way. The next thing is to mark our chest line. Divide your bust by 6. Add 1.5 inches, just the way we did for the front. And mine is 7. And we extend that point across. So on the chest line, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement. We are basically repeating what we did on the front pattern, and I'm going to connect from the shoulder slope all the way to that point. I'll come here, divide what I have here into 2 equal halves to get the midpoint. At that point, I'll go in by 1/2 inch. Then I'll come to the chest line, mark my bust circumference divided by 4, and I'll go ahead and connect. The reason why we are repeating this is because of those that didn't get it when we were drafting the back pattern. We are basically repeating what we did on the front pattern. I'm going to mark my nipple to nipple measurements divided by 2 on all the lines, and I'll use a straight line to just connect them. Then on the waistline, I'm going to mark 1/2 inch on both sides of our dart leg. Then I'll come down from the chest line by 1 inch. I'll go ahead and connect my darts. So this is what we have. The next thing is to impute our round body measurement. We've already marked our bust measurement. I'll add my sewing allowance. Come to the waistline, divide my waist by 4, replace the dart and add my sewing allowance, and I'll go ahead and connect all the points together. And this is basically it for the back. If you want the back pattern to have the shoulder dart, you are going to come to your shoulder slant here, divide it into 2 equal halves to get the midpoint, and you connect from your dart leg all the way to that point if you want it to have a shoulder dart. Okay, so on the waistline, I'm going to mark 1/2 inch here, and I will connect it slantly up. This is to prevent our zip from bulging after sewing. So we are going to cut out this excess we have here, and this is basically, I'll go ahead and cut this out, and I'll cut it from here. This is our yoke, and this is the down part. But if you don't want to cut out the yoke, you can cut it together. Okay, I'm just going to cut my dart open. If you like, you can sew it down, or if you don't want that, you can just open it up this way, just the way I'm doing. And I'm going to close it down with my tape here to have it as one piece. And this is basically it for this tutorial. It's a very simple tutorial. If you find this video helpful, please do well to like, share and subscribe. If you have any question, please do well to drop it in the comment section and I will attend to it. Thank you so much. See you in the next